published 17:30 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 13th of May 2018, updated 1943 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 13th of May 2018. England United. That's what Eddie Jones wants in South Africa next month. The head coach is concerned about a lack of unity in the Red Rose ranks, but the danger is that his selection of Brad Shields could exacerbate the problem. Here's a group of players with something in common: Don Armand, Gary Graham, John O'Ross, Ben Curry, Zach Mercer, Jamie Gibson and Tiamano Harrison. They are all back rowers omitted from the tour squad who have, to varying degrees, played well enough to be included. When Jones revealed the 34 men chosen for the three-test series against the Springboks, Armand's absence from the list prompted incredulity. He has been a colossal presence in Exeter's latest title charge, excelling week after week after week against domestic rivals, at blindside and openside. England head coach Eddie Jones has opted to fast-track Kiwi flanker Brad Shields. The others mentioned above have all made compelling cases too, but instead Jones has opted to fast-track Kiwi flanker Shields. Some of the New Zealand rugby union's posturing on the matter, in relation to releasing the player to a rival nation, has been ludicrous, but they were quite entitled to wonder why England could not find players in their own country. The Kiwis will have enjoyed making fun of the RFU for what they will perceive as an act of desperation. Jones will select anyone he wishes who is eligible, so it is up to the union to intervene on behalf of the development systems they preside over. England head coach Jones is keen to build unity for the tour of South Africa this summer. Shields is a very fine player in Super Rugby, but will that translate to a very different environment over here? Wasps certainly hope and believe he will, when he joins them, but time will tell. It is quite a different game to the one he has been used to playing, which is why Armand and co have the relevant credentials. They have justified a place in the appropriate selection arena. Shields has not, which leads back to the unity factor. It would be human nature if some of the chosen men found it difficult to accept a hastily promoted newcomer, while clubmates they have trained with, played with and shared international dreams with are stuck on the outside looking in. It may not even cause a ripple, but there is a chance it could, which may not help stand-in Captain Owen Farrell's task of forging a strong collective spirit. Meanwhile, Jones has brought in a fellow Australian, Scott Wisemantel, to act as England's attack coach on the tour. Ideally, that important job should have gone to a homegrown candidate: Ali Heifer, Sam Vesti or Dave Walder. Once again, the RFU should be seeking to promote Englishmen where possible. England's next opponents have some problems of their own. Last week, new Springboks head coach Rassie Erasmus learned that he would be without the services of the country's outstanding hooker, Malcolm Marx, for 6 weeks due to injury, ruling him out of the three-test series next month. On Saturday, there was more bad news, as racing fly half Pat Lambie went off early with major knee ligament damage. "Looks like my season is done," he said. Rassie Erasmus will be without the services of Malcolm Marx for 6 weeks due to injury. "The diagnosis isn't great. I think I have done my ACL ligament, so that is 6 to 9 months out. Nothing was guaranteed this summer, but to play for the Springboks is still one of my dreams and goals." Try of the season, the Scarlets' long-range effort at Bath, when Reece Patchell sparked an audacious counter-attack from deep in his own half, and the sweeping raid was rounded off by Lock Teague-Bairn outrageously sidestepping around Anthony Watson. Shock result number 1. Saracens managed to clear away piles of snow to belatedly welcome Clermont Auvergne to Allianz Park, but they were left wishing the fixture had been abandoned, as a dazzling hat-trick by Eddi propelled the visitors to a stunning 46-14 win over the champions. Shock result number 2. Challenge Cup holders Stade Français made the long-haul trek to Siberia expecting a routine win over Krasny Yar. Instead, they slumped to a 34-29 defeat, prompting assistant coach Julien Dupuis to condemn the Parisians' performance as rubbish, catastrophic, and ridiculous. The San Mamés Stadium in Bilbao, Spain, hosted this year's European Champions Cup final. Good move. Taking the finals to Bilbao was a gamble which paid off handsomely. The San Mamés Stadium is a sensational modern arena which provided a fitting backdrop, while its central location and the transport infrastructure were a positive factor. Just a shame about rip-off hotel prices. Best new hotspot, La Rochelle rapidly emerged as a Champions Cup force with the Cavalier pool stage exploits. The home ground, Stade Marcel de Flandre, has the look of an Atlantic Coast version of Clermont's Stade Marcel Michelin, with an noisy yellow army of flag-waving fanatics. Top communicator. It is simply inexcusable that most English-speaking referees are unable to offer at least a basic few explanatory phrases in French when officiating games involving Gallic teams. Sir J.P. Doyle has set a vital new standard by learning French in order to be better understood. The Racing 92 players ran on for the Champions Cup final wearing berets on Saturday. Most stylish entrants, Racing 92 have a fine tradition of sartorial flamboyance. The Paris club used to play in boaties and drink champagne on the pitch at half-time. The latter habit was revived this season, and on Saturday, the Racing players ran on for the Champions Cup final wearing berets. Top entertainers, the Scarlets just edged this one ahead of La Rochelle, who they beat in the quarterfinals. The performance in the course of a 35-17 victory at Bath in December was so gloriously daring that it drew admiring acclaim from home fans. Costliest collapse, Wasps were in control against Harlequins at the Stoop, leading 28-12 and on course to take another significant step towards qualification for the quarterfinals. But Die Young's side fell apart in the closing stages to lose 33-28, which meant no knockout place. Biggest flops, Harlequins, Leicester and Northampton. The three English clubs mustered just one win apiece for their 6 pool fixtures. For the Tigers and Saints, both former champions, it was a grim indication of the steep slide down the European pecking order. Lifetime Achievement Award, Tonga prop Tau Farao Phillies became a Challenge Cup winner again on Friday, at the age of 40. Having joined the region in 2006, he has gone on to make more than 250 appearances for the Welsh capital city side. Head coach Danny Wilson hailed Phillies as the nominal best cliffhangers. There were plenty of photo finishes, but the two finals took some beating in that regard. The goal kickers were the pressure-defying heroes, with Gareth Anscombe striking in the last minute for Cardiff Blues, while Isaac Ua's shot for glory came in the 79th minute for Leinster. In light of the recent Grand Slam and Leinster's feats in Europe, Ireland should be going to Australia next month with the sole, realistic objective of beating the Wallabies 3-0. The host nation, who were whitewashed at home by England 2 years ago, are surely there for the taking. Michael Cheika will need some miraculous work to repair the morale of his players, given the ordeals they are going through in Super Rugby. The losing run against New Zealand franchises was extended to 39 games at the weekend, when the Waratahs contrived to throw away a 29-0 lead, to lose 31-29 against the Crusaders. That meek surrender suggests a chronic mental block against the Kiwis, as ex-England lock Jeff Parling has identified since joining the Rebels in Melbourne. Yet, Australia's problems are not limited to trans-Tasman torment. The Reds were walloped by the Japanese Sunwolves on Friday. That is a calamitous result. Checker has an almighty task on his hands, to prevent Ireland from putting his side to the sword.